Hello Internet, I'm Tesaks and welcome to the second part of PixelDraw. Today we are just going to quickly draw a really basic image for people that would be interested in getting to pixel art, and for that I picked basically the reason, or not the reason, this is the reason for the style that I picked, and also the colors and the resolution of the image. If you're going to take a look at this, the resolution of the image is 32 by 32 pixels, which means that we have 32 pixels by 32 pixels to basically take into consideration how to pick them. So first thing first, we should lay an outline, and I will be drawing a flower, like a real basic flower. For that, just quickly let's put the outline out there. Also, I will be trying, at least for the first few episodes, not to use any specific tools that are like at my disposal thanks to PixelEdit. So even people that are using like the MS Paint or something can get into pixel art with ease. Which means that I am not going to be using layers. I am not going to be using alpha channel or opacity, and also I won't be using copy pasting with various shortcuts or commands that are like really easy to use on PixelEdit but might be quite complicated in MS Paint. Anyway, I already made an outline for the head of the flower. Now let's make just like 1 or 2 leaves on each side. One on each side, this is what I meant to say. And I'll make them look exactly the same, but then you don't really want to have double edges or like double outlines, so just merge it a little bit in here. And now we have the basic idea of what we are going to draw today. Now we have to pick some colors, so absolutely we are going with green, we are going with red for the petals, we are going with yellow for the center, and that's basically it. Now just quickly fill the area to get the feel for the image as a whole, how the colors will be like complementing one another. And I already see that the yellow part is quite small, so just quickly change that. And now in the preview window, which is like the pixel specific or PixelEdit specific thing, so I'm going to disable it. Let's just quickly zoom out, and I think it looks quite okay. Now if you are going for a really simple image, these colors are okay, you can go with that, but I don't like that. First of all, I don't like the tint of the red or the color of the red, so I'm going to change that. I think like a little bit dark red would be better, but at the same time like increase the lighting a bit and decrease the saturation. And now I think that this red is like a little bit better and a little bit better suited for the job. Also, I don't like the yellow, so let me just quickly choose different yellow. I think this one should be okay. And now we can play with the colors just a little bit. So we need at least 2 colors for the straw and 2 colors for the leaves. Because the leaves and the straw are the same color, we will just use the same color and recycle it. Basically, I think we need a darker color for the straw, and because we have black outlines, we have to make a huge difference in the colors. So I'm going to decrease the lighting of the green by probably, let's start with 6 and that's not seems enough, so add another 3, add another 1. This should be okay. So in the end we decreased it by 10. Yes, so let's decrease it by 10, and with decreasing the lighting, in order to make the color like look just a little bit better, let's increase the hue as well, and let's increase it by 3. That should be okay. And let's place the color maybe a little bit higher, and I think this looks quite good enough. Maybe one more pixel. Yes, we can see that, and it makes a difference. Now for the leaves, I will just go ahead and do the same thing on both sides for the upper and lower part, and I think it looks okay. We don't need to see that, like these things are not meant to be apparent at the first glance, but just if you are going to look at the image with only one color, and if you are going to look at the image with 2 colors, you can see the difference. It just looks tiny bit better. Now I want to put one single pixel down there as well, and I think the straw and the leaves are set. Now for the color of the head, let's do the same thing, and I will just basically tell you one thing that I'm like always using, and that's whenever you are decreasing the lighting, as I already mentioned, you should always move the hue as well. If you don't know what hue, saturation and lighting means, like you probably know, but not in the terms of like making colors, then basically the hue is moving the part on this side which is picking the color. Saturations make the color either like washed out or like really saturated, and lighting is like obvious, it just increase or decrease the amount of like dark color in the final color. Now I'm not sure if there is something like that in MS Paint, as I wasn't using Paint for quite a long time, but there is a whole thing like color theory on background. I'm not really into thinking about colors like that. I tried to study color theory, but it really isn't for me, so I'm picking colors basically by feeling them. But if that's something that's not for you, then go ahead and check the color theory. I will probably talk about that in one episode as well. Maybe it will be better done sooner than later. But for the beginning, don't worry about that. Just pick some preset colors, or maybe make your own. Try to mess up with things. Try to like change different values. But always keep in mind that if you want your color to be consistent and like a little bit more believable, then when changing the lighting, change also the hue. And I'm not going to say any specific numbers because we will get to that on some other episode. Just this is I wanted to mention it just to make sure that you absolutely know what I'm doing. Like if there is a reason for me changing these 2 values instead of just this one, because if I won't do that, then the final color wouldn't be like it wouldn't fit the whole image. Now let's just quickly put the colors down, and I think we need to change the original color for the yellow or the head as well. We changed it once again in the past. Now change it once more, and I think we need to make it a little bit lighter right now. So let's change it to something like, let's say 60, and decrease the hue to something like 49, and yeah, I think it fits a little bit better. Also, the observer wouldn't be even able to see the differences, but it just will feel a little bit better because of the reason how the projection of pixels works. And then again, I think we need to work a little bit on the leaves as well. So let's use the original color, and I think this would be like an awesome detail color. This like the color that's not really used much in the image or in the part of the image, but we definitely can put 1 or 2 pixels here and there. And now let's look at the image. And okay, I'm not really that fan of this change, so let's quickly revert that, and we will choose a little bit darker color based on the color that we are currently using. I think this is way better. So let's just quickly make the center darker, because we want to emphasize that there is like this part of the flower is like really farther away from us. We can even make a full circle, but I don't think it's necessary in this case, and also I think we need just a little bit darker color. So let's make it like 35 and increase the hue to 60. Yeah, I think that's just a little bit better now that we will be able to make the difference just a tiny bit better. Now at this point, I think I'm quite okay with this. There are few other ways that I would make the image different, but also in the first place I wouldn't be using the dark outline, but for the beginning I really think that dark outline is like the basic that you should use, because it helps you in the future, at least in my opinion. Also, when we are done, we can just go ahead and add just tiny details like this. In the end, we won't be able to see these details on the final image, but it just makes a tiny bit difference and making it like a little bit more live. Basically, this is everything for today's episode. I just want to repeat again, if you are into pixel art, then go ahead, open MS Paint and try to draw a flower like this. If you want to practice even more, then go ahead and try something similar. Increase the difficulty slightly, like try bigger images, try more complicated images, try to draw the same image over and over again, but from different angles, try different styles, etc. Because when it comes to pixel art, like the practice makes a huge difference when you are working with it. Like if you are making the first flower, then it might turn out terrible, but like the 10th, maybe 20th flower, or even maybe 5th or 3rd flower will look significantly different. Also, it's up to you. Of course, you can choose different types or different objects to draw. Anyways, thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next episode, where we will be discussing something new and hopefully something like more advanced, but still on the edge of like complete beginner. So even the people that would be interested in like starting with pixel art could just get some like inspiration from that. Well, anyway, thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. See ya.